And that's how I look at it. What makes him get more respect than me? You my next door neighbor, you know what I tell him? You got yours from your family. I got mine from the ground up, from hard work and dedication.
Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest ever. He's a brilliant defensive fighter. His speed, his boxing savvy. He's just a savant. He's just something special, no question about it. But I gotta look at the Sugar Ray Leonards of the world.
Floyd's way is safe. Not in a punk, but it's like the safe way, like nothing ain't gonna go wrong. But that's how he fight. That's his characteristic.
Floyd Mayweather exploded after Stephen A. Smith downplayed his legacy and claimed that Terence Crawford could defeat him. Stephen A. insisted that Mayweather is not the greatest fighter ever, as Floyd often proclaims, and argued that Sugar Ray Leonard was far superior. He further stated that Floyd's best victories came at lightweight, while he failed to dominate at higher divisions. Smith also dismissed the Canelo fight as unimpressive, sparking outrage from Mayweather, who refused to let such criticism slide.
It's not just about your skill set, it's who you do it against.
Your level of competition. Is it possible that he's so far beyond his level of competition that he made it look easy?
Well, I think he did as a lightweight. When he went up to the welterweight division, not so much. You know what I'm saying? Now, if
taking out Canelo the way he took out.
Well, he just gave him a boxing lesson, but Canelo was 22 years old. See, I remember
That's an excuse, though. I don't like this, like he's 22, he's too young.
I will tell you this. Well, you know, you do have to take that into consideration.
The guy had 100 fights.
Well, let me explain.
22.
You have to take that into consideration when boxing is the issue. Now, if he got knocked on his ass, that's different. But when he simply got schooled, when you swinging a punch and Floyd is tapping you on your shoulder saying, I'm behind you, that's a problem. You understand what I'm saying? That's just a skill, like, you know,
But we could credit Floyd with that.
Of course, I am crediting. I'm saying he's a brilliant boxer. You know, Floyd knew how to move before you even threw the damn punch. You see what I'm saying? You gotta be a veteran to know how to overcome that. You can't put a novice into the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather. You understand? He's going to school you. What I'm saying to you is that if you wanna make an argument on Floyd Money Mayweather's half, which I'm not summarily dismissing, I would tell you it's this. Floyd Money Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Dawood Bey delivered a detailed analysis comparing Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford following Crawford's performance against Canelo Alvarez. He admitted that as a fan, he leaned slightly toward Crawford in a hypothetical matchup, but he emphasized the need for balance. Crawford's win over Canelo was extraordinary, and many rushed to say it surpassed anything Floyd had achieved. However, Bey reminded listeners that Floyd had already dominated Canelo in their fight, and he did it when Canelo was still maturing as a fighter. He stressed that dismissing Floyd's greatness in favor of Crawford is unfair since both brought something unique to boxing. For Bey, the truth lies in between. Crawford deserves recognition for handling Canelo so impressively, but Mayweather's performance against him was equally historic and should not be overlooked.
That Bud goes about it a little bit better than Floyd in this sense. Floyd will when Floyd fought Canelo, he was standing right there. He wasn't running and all of that. He wasn't doing all of the stuff that they say, oh, runner, Mayweather's a runner. He wasn't doing that versus Canelo. He was right there. And I can't even really remember Canelo catching him like that, like with nothing. With Bud, I could remember Canelo catching Bud a couple times, but Bud gave him the, all right, put your foot out, what's up? Boxing turn, boxing turn, boxing turn. And was really standing there and giving it to him with another type of energy. The energy is more so all right, what's up? You can't beat me. Floyd energy be bop, bop, I'm better than you. You see what I'm saying? They don't really be respecting that all the time. They'll acknowledge it yo, I ain't gonna lie, he hard to catch. But they be nah, you didn't beat me up. Bud go about his fights in a way where as though the Mexican fan base gotta be I ain't gonna lie, Canelo, he hollered at you. He came at you too. He didn't just be better than you. He was better and then he was all right, I'm gonna come at you. And I think they really respect that. Shit, I respect it. I don't think it's not, I think the less you get hit, the better. I'm always gonna take it that way. So, you know what I'm saying? As a boxing fan, the kind of boxing fan that I am, I would have leaned towards Floyd's performance, but Bud's performance was If I'm a casual fan, I'd rather watch the way Bud do it.
Trainer Boosie Ennis spoke passionately about Terence Crawford's place in the sport. He addressed critics who questioned Crawford's accomplishments, saying that Crawford has repeatedly proven himself as one of the greatest of his era. He highlighted Crawford's willingness to take risks regardless of the opponent, pointing out that he never shied away from dangerous fights. In his eyes, Crawford thrives under risk, and that separates him from many of his peers. By constantly challenging himself against elite fighters, Crawford carved out his place among boxing's best. Ennis stressed that people should stop downplaying Crawford's achievements and instead recognize that few fighters in history have been as versatile, daring, and successful as him.
I think he could have got the stoppage. He'll tell you that if he had to sit down a little bit more. And what I tell you, Chance can fight and he can box. And he can fight. He'll fight this side. He take chances, man. You know what I mean? And that's how you be great, man. He one of the greatest out there now. I think he's great. I think he's the best out there right now in that division. You know what I mean?
What's left?
For Terence?
Yeah.
If I was Terence, I would retire. That's what I would do. He did everything, man. He done everything, man. You know what I mean? He don't have any titles, he don't want all that stuff, you know what I mean? I think I'll go off one in the sunset, man. You know what I mean? He don't need no more money. You know what I mean?
Crawford's longtime trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, believes his fighter still has major moments left. According to Bomac, Crawford could take on 2 or 3 more fights before considering retirement. He discussed the possibility of Crawford moving up to 160 pounds, noting that such a jump would not just be about titles, but about cementing a legacy that is already Hall of Fame worthy. Bomac made it clear that Crawford has already written his name into history by becoming undisputed in multiple weight classes and securing groundbreaking wins. Yet, the idea of adding championships in higher divisions excites both the team and the fans. He stressed that Crawford is no longer chasing validation. Instead, he is solidifying his place among the all-time greats, pursuing challenges that only legendary fighters attempt.
The second time. They can't take it away from him neither.
Does this one mean more to you than the other ones?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It gives us the opportunity as a team to go into the Hall of Fame. Instead of a fighter going in there, instead of a coach going in there, it gives us a better chance to go in there as a team.
Well, congrats on that. I know that means a lot to you and the team.
Definitely that.
You know, I asked Bud this after the fight 2 weeks ago. Would he consider this his signature win? He said, yeah, one of them. Do you think that was his signature win of his career?
Well, the last fight?
Yeah, the Canelo win.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was the underdog. Everybody thought that, you know, he was going to get beat.
What's up?
He was going to get beat. Surprising.
So what's next for Bud? What do you want to see him do?
I just want to see him, you know, spend time with his family because, you know, training for a fight, you be gone a long time. You're going away from your family. And it can take a toll on you after a while. So,
as his trainer, do you feel like you should just sail off into the sunset after this monumental
well,
win?
you know what? They made it look so easy. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Shit, got 2, 3 more in him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Training camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
Timothy Bradley shared heartfelt words about Terence Crawford's influence. He explained that young fighters often struggle with doubt, especially when critics undermine their progress. Crawford, however, showed what perseverance and determination could achieve. Despite the skepticism surrounding him early in his career, Crawford kept proving doubters wrong with his performances in the ring. Bradley emphasized how Crawford became a source of inspiration for the next generation by achieving what many thought impossible, becoming a multi-time undisputed champion across divisions. For Bradley, Crawford represents more than victories. He symbolizes belief, courage, and proof that hard work can overcome any criticism. Young fighters now see Crawford not just as a champion, but as a role model who embodies the spirit of never giving up.
And the man that you have become, you're a true inspiration to the youth, man. Anybody that's troubled, any troubled kid out there, man, they can look at you and say, hey, man, I got a fighting chance to get myself out the situation. All I got to do is make that choice. That's what you did, Crawford. You made that choice, man. You made that choice to change, bruh. You know, you saw going down, man, years ago, man, in 2008, man, when that bullet came through that window, you knew you had to do something or you gonna end up 6 feet under, bro. You know, so that courage that you had, man, and that will that you had and that mindset to change, man, and the gym, you know, grooming you and turning you into a man, because that's what boxing does. See, people don't understand, man, that boxing is more than just throwing punches. You know, boxing teaches you discipline. You know, it teaches you love for people, love for others, man. You know, working together. You know, you're there constantly every single day, man. You know, spending time there perfecting a craft, man. Perfecting yourself, understanding yourself, learning more about yourself each and every single day. You push it inside the gym. You know, boxing is more than just throwing punches, man. You know.
Floyd Mayweather's journey transcended boxing itself. As Oladipo described, Mayweather carefully crafted two personas, Pretty Boy Floyd and Money Mayweather, both of which captured the public's imagination. Early in his career, Pretty Boy Floyd was a fearless risk-taker who delivered highlight reel knockouts. Later, Money Mayweather emerged as the ultimate businessman, mastering defensive boxing and turning every fight into a global spectacle. His pay-per-view dominance and marketing genius made him a phenomenon beyond the sport. Oladipo credited Floyd's brilliance not only in the ring but also outside of it, saying he created a business model that modern fighters still try to emulate. By blending technical mastery with entertainment, Floyd became more than a boxer. He became a cultural icon and the architect of boxing's new economic era.
Sorry. He's a genius. He is a fucking... You know, when I get bored with today's crop of boxers, and Terence, to be fair, has kind of helped me out of my boredom, but sometimes I just go on YouTube and I watch the 24/7s and then I watch the fight. I'm not joking, I watch the whole fucking episodes and then I watch the fight. And my guy is a genius. A genius. There will always be an argument of, hey, you should have fought that person then, and I get it. I get it, right? It's kind of the argument you can't throw at Muhammad Ali, right? You could throw that argument at Floyd. But dude, unbeaten is unbeaten. Unbeaten is unbeaten. Multi-weight world champion is multi-weight world champion. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen a boxer so like, I'm going to work you out, and then when I work you out, you're done. Shall I repeat that? I'm going to work you out, and when I work you out, you're done. And Floyd had this thing where first 2 rounds, you think, oh shit, man, this guy's in this fighting, and then he works you out. And then he works you out. Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd was better than Money, but Money Floyd had obviously the fights, right?
Despite Crawford's stunning victory over Canelo, debate has erupted about his future. Some insiders, including members of his team, have suggested that he should retire immediately to protect his legacy. Supporters argue that Crawford has already achieved greatness and has nothing left to prove. However, others in boxing remain unsatisfied and continue to downplay his win, claiming he should step aside before his reputation fades. This has created tension, as many believe Crawford still has plenty left to offer. His recent performances show no decline, and fans want to see him in more high-profile fights. While retirement is an option, Crawford's legacy as one of the greatest is secure, and whether he continues or not, his accomplishments cannot be erased.
The fact that Terence Crawford did what he did against Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford made himself the face of boxing, and he did it. He made it look easy. He made the Errol Spence fight look easy. That was supposed to be the toughest test of his career. I thought it was. The whole world thought it was. It was the easiest fight he had at welterweight. I thought, but I've been saying for years that he's going to easily beat Canelo Alvarez, and he did. But many people expected Canelo to knock him out. That wasn't the case. With that said, now people are trying to throw, he's 38. Tomorrow, Terence Crawford will be 38 years old. He's a 5-division champion. If he wants to stick around, like Terence Crawford stated, okay, Terence Crawford stated, if I do stick around, I'm not dropping down no further than 160 pounds. If he stays in boxing, I say he have 2 more fights. Fight Janibek, who's the unified champion. Hopefully call Sadamas and Lara fight and unify the belts. 2 fights at 160, pad the stats, become a 6-division champion and a 4-division undisputed champion. Cool. Other than that, Terence Crawford needs to retire.
trainer Robert Garcia weighed in on the Mayweather vs. Crawford debate. He reminded fans that while Mayweather's record and success remain unmatched, he never became an undisputed champion, something both Crawford and Pacquiao accomplished. Garcia acknowledged that Crawford's resume in this regard is historically significant. Yet, he still leaned toward Mayweather in a direct comparison. He explained that Mayweather's defense, timing, and ring intelligence would be overwhelming even for a fighter as skilled as Crawford. For Garcia, Mayweather's ability to neutralize opponents set him apart, making him a nightmare matchup. While he respects Crawford's achievements, Garcia believes Mayweather's mastery of fundamentals and strategy puts him above almost everyone, including today's champions.
Man, he doesn't need it anymore.
With his accomplishments, the only man to ever do 3 weight divisions undisputed, is he now a part of the greatest of all time conversation? And not of this era, but of all time.
Definitely is the greatest, one of the greatest of all times. You know, there's still greats out there. There's still, you know, his era or last era, you know, with the Mayweathers, with the Pacquiaos. I think he's, you know, already accomplished more. Pacquiao was 8 divisions, so we have to, we could argue there because Pacquiao was, fuck, 8 division is almost impossible, and he did it. Mayweather never became undisputed. He's a 5 division champion, but never became undisputed. Never really followed that unification, stuff like that. So I think when it comes to accomplishments, I think he's already done more.
Greg Hackett added another layer to the discussion by comparing Mayweather's performance against Canelo with Crawford's. He argued that when Floyd fought Canelo, he was already a complete fighter with unmatched polish and composure. Hackett said Crawford's style is more aggressive and built on adaptability, but it lacks the flawless execution Floyd showed over 12 rounds. He emphasized that Mayweather's defensive perfection and ring control remain unmatched in history. While Hackett respects Crawford's accomplishments, he stressed that Mayweather's dominance was on another level. For him, Crawford's explosiveness is remarkable, but Floyd's calculated brilliance against Canelo represented near perfection. Stephen A. Smith also applauded Crawford's win over Canelo, calling it one of the most entertaining performances in recent years.
But the biggest props of the night goes to Terence Crawford, who did not disappoint. He was supposed to be the smaller man. He was supposed to be the weaker man. He was supposed to be the man that was going to spend the entire night on his bicycle, running for his damn life because Saul Canelo Alvarez was coming his way. That is not what happened. What happened instead, ladies and gentlemen, was a masterclass in boxing by Terence Crawford. Now, to me, the fight, some people were saying it was a severely lopsided and stuff like that. I'm not going for that. I'm not feeling that at all. It wasn't like that at all, okay?
And that wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for more. Until next time.